Good day, good love, good light, illuminators and way showers. Thank you, thank you. It is in divine grace, gratitude, and honor that all of you join us today. My name is Wendy, this is Dave, and thank you for being with us today as we share today our expressions in light language. And this is a sacred space and a sacred place for all of you to join us here in the Zoom room. We are broadcasting live. We have a live chat in YouTube. If I've posted the blog post to my languagesoflights.com website where you can join the room. The Zoom room link to join us today is on the blog post, so you can find us there. So please do feel free to join in. Normally, if you're not new to the show, Bree is normally with us today, moderating, and so she's actually has an appointment today. So hi, Bree, if you're listening or watching, thanks. I hope you have a great appointment, and hopefully she'll be able to join us later on in the broadcast. So as all of you may or may not know, you can also chat with us in the YouTube live chat. And Dave and I will try to be watching everything, so bear with us. I usually have my sidekick handy. So, and Dolores is here in the room. So thank you, dear Dolores, thanks for being with us again. So yeah, Dolores, if you'd be so kind too, to kind of keep an eye on things for us. And so all of you, yeah, please, if you've got questions or comments, please do leave them in the live chat. And if you do want to join the Zoom room, you can, when you click on the link, you can come in by telephone. If you'd like, you can come in and you don't have to turn on your video or your audio if you don't want to. You can just join the space if you like. It's really a place for all of us to express and learn about light language. It's about expressing and sharing our experiences, whether it's with light languages, how we apply it, how we use it, if we use it, are you curious about it? And really, how does it and all of this apply to our multidimensionality? How does it help us navigate this life, this focus of this very one focus of our reality, as we are multidimensional beings having a multidimensional experience. So please do join us. And so thanks again for being with us today. And there's so many things I wanted to explore today. So if you're new to light languages, one of the things I like to start off with is if you'd like to, if you're new to my channel, my name is Wendy Wolf. If you'd like to take a look at my website, languagesoflights.com, you can get an idea of my story, a little bit more about light languages, about how I came to find them. I've been sharing this now for free to everybody now for 5 years. I had my 5-year anniversary this month. So here we're in the last of January here of 2020, the very beginning of this new year, this new decade, this new age of Aquarius, and how we think and process and apply all of these multidimensional or higher frequency information. And how does it help us make decisions in our daily life? How does it help us navigate jobs, relationships, places where we live, following our instincts, connecting with our guides, hearing information? How do you want to be activated? Do you want to speak light languages, or do you have questions about it? All of this is kind of all intermingled into these Wednesdays. And so if you've been with us for a little while, thank you so much again for being with us and joining us and always waiting and excited to be here. And so we've been doing this now since June of 2019, last year. So we're into our kind of second year, if you will. And as many of us have been guided to, this is 2020, the year of 2020 vision of higher guidance. So I did want to take a moment to say hi to Dolores, and thank you if you wanted to unmute and just say hi, and to thank all of you out there and in YouTube. And I'm going to see if we've got anybody.
Hello, everybody. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Dolores, and thank you so much. She's always here with us, sharing her love and her light and her light languages and her wonderful perspectives. And so I wanted to say hi to everybody. Wow, what a coincidence. We've got, looks like there's 11 people sitting out there. So welcome in, hop in, you guys, if you want to come in. Hi, Hope. Glad to see you here. Hey, everybody. Just loving that you guys are here with us today. And, you know, one of the things that, if you know my channel a little bit, I've got quite a bit of videos out there that talk about sacred geometry, symbols, sacred symbols that many of us create, including Dolores. So I was actually guided to start doing some symbols this morning for a variety of reasons. And as we share this information that we are getting through these symbols, we are helping each other connect to each other, activate our higher dimensional DNA, helping us understand how is it that we really do create our reality by thinking something. And by thinking something, we create a belief. And by creating that belief, that is the action that we take. The action that we take is always created by that belief. And those beliefs are filtered through things that we've learned, things that don't belong to us, ideas, maybe that are other people's. And one of the things that I wanted to explore a little bit today in relationship to all of this is how light languages, and we've talked about this before, how it lends us to more of our authentic selves, how it helps us to, understand different parts of ourselves, in that when we are authentic and following our passion, we create a vibration that creates synchronicities to happen in our lives, that when we follow them and honor them instead of resisting them. And we talk about this a lot because synchronicities, as many of you know, one of the things that I love sharing is about how synchronicities, how when we share them, how when we recognize them, it's our soul talking to us. It's our higher self. It's us being aware that we are receiving a message, and that how we act on that message is, and how we think about the information that we're receiving in that synchronicity, how it prompts us to act. And sometimes synchronicities are not necessarily what we would consider preferable. Sometimes we receive things that are happening that seem to be what we would perceive, not what we would prefer, what we would call negative, what we would call challenges. And yet even these synchronicities are signs from our soul saying, stop and take a look. And are you really being authentic? Are you who you really want to be, where you want to be, how you want to be, and who you want to be with, and how these thoughts trigger how they create the beliefs that can trigger behaviors that maybe are patterns that we repeat over and over because we're simply afraid. Maybe we're afraid to be authentic because we're so afraid of what someone else is going to think, what they're going to feel, how are they going to react, and how we feel always so responsible. We feel so responsible for someone else's happiness. And when we begin to understand that by following our passion and being authentic, we are giving the ability to respond to ourselves, creating our own environment based upon our passion. And this creates the vibration that sets the stage, the foundation for the vibration of the reality to create things that we do prefer, synchronicities that we do prefer in our lives, and help us follow these, because we can follow synchronicities that are not in service or beneficial to us as well. And this is something that we don't always talk about. We talk about, if you've been with us talking about synchronicities for a little while, I've always said how it helps me identify that I'm in harmony with we can never not be in harmony with our journey. And so I want to word this a little bit differently, but that we're in harmony with our highest core vibration, and that we really are acting from this place of integration, the body, mind, and spirit, that place of the triangle of when you're acting from that place of joy and gratitude and love. The center of that is harmony. Whenever you're navigating from that center of the integration of those, you're always going to be in harmony. And this idea of synchronicities, whether it's negative or say not preferable, I don't like to use that word negative, because there's always a positive direction in which it's pointing us, even if it's something we don't prefer. It just tells us we don't prefer it. And yet We will continue to do things we don't prefer because of beliefs that we have in place that are not serving us, that say to us, that say to the world and other people around us, I am holding you responsible for making me happy. And I also feel that I am responsible for your happiness. And this is probably one of the number one breakers of any relationship. And it doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is, typically. So with that said, a lot of has been in my own life and my own life altering experiences over the last few months. And a lot of people in that I've been talking to in my own life are also experiencing this, where we experience the status quo, but not the passion. And when we talked about passion last week, passion is the bridge. It is the portal. And so we've spent a lot of time the last few weeks and days, really, many of us, and I know those of you out there who may be watching and listening know that you're a part of this, and you understand that this message is for you as well as me, and that we're always teachers and students at the same time. So I wanted to double check really quick just to see if anybody, if there was any other questions or anything out there, and to remind all, hey, Anne Marie, hey, if you guys are free, please do hey, yeah, go ahead.
Becky's waiting for you.
Oh yes, I see that now. I said, yep, I see Beck's waiting. So we're gonna allow Beck in here. Okay, so Beck will be here in just a second. There she is. So thanks, Beck. Hi everyone. Hi Angela. Hi Hope. Hi Lori. Hey Anne Marie. Yeah, hey anybody. Anne Marie, it's so good to see you. Oh my God, Dave and I were just talking about you like yesterday, because we were, was it Tuesday? We were picking up snail shells, and we couldn't help laughing. We were thinking about Orion and the Orion Council, and we were thinking back and laughing about the whole that whole idea of the snails and the Orion Council. So we were really laughing about that, because the beings that Anne Marie's in the chat here, and she had channels. She actually has a website, or excuse me, a YouTube channel as well. And so she, Anne Marie, if it'll let you, if you can put the link to your YouTube channel, if it'll let you in there. And so she channels these beings, and it's amazing and it's hilarious. And so we got to meet Anne Marie when I when I met Dave for the first time here in Fort Lauderdale, when I did my first light language event. And that was back just recently in August of 2019. So we met at the same weekend. So it was a delight to have her there and channeling these beings. And it's hilarious. They're amazing. And we just had the best time. So I'm just so happy that the synchronicities that you're here, and that we were just talking about it. So really great information, you guys. And so she's a beautiful being inside and out. Human and all her dimensions. And so yeah, if you guys do check out her channel, because she's really awesome. And Beck too, I just want to remind everybody, Beck's here today too, and to remind everybody too that she's got her YouTube channel too, that she shares light languages. So hey Beck, good to see you again. So it was really good to see all of you guys. Good to be in your vibration again, Anne Marie. So yeah, we were just admiring Orion the other night too. Well, every night is anytime I can see it, and talking about Sirius and the dolphin energy and Sirius energy, and just the idea of all of these other star systems and beings and energies and entities that are out there in these star systems watching and really cheering us on, and again sending us symbols to let us know that they're out there, they're watching, they're waiting for us to talk back. And anytime if you're new to these sacred symbols and circuitry, this is something that's been part of when I very first started speaking light languages, I began receiving all these different types of symbols and sigils and light code arrays as I was guided. And so
these, if you're new to some of these can actually represent a great many things. They can be energies, entities. They could be, this could be a story. Like many of these, as I'm receiving them, feel like either stories of an entire race system, maybe a star system, or they are actual, like some of these are, and many people ask me, and this is something that we do together in private sessions, like with light language consultations. A lot of people are writing these and they don't know what they mean. And I will say to you guys too, sometimes I don't either. Like I'm just get a feeling, or they'll say it's for a particular, to unblock a when I say unblock, meaning illuminate, maybe there's a thought process that's creating a belief that's preventing us from moving forward in life in any way, something that we want to do. And sometimes that's what these are for, is to kind of help us move through that energy. It literally, as we talked about last week, it literally moves the energy, and it helps us activate and access and illuminate these places and these ideas inside of us that are just simply disempowering beliefs. They're just thoughts that we keep thinking. And when we change our perspective, when we can change that thought, it really does change everything. And so there, I thank you, Dolores, for holding those up. So, and yeah, back to, I know if you've got any handy, this would be a really great time to, because this is really activating. And so it's not just about singing and toning and speaking light languages. It's also about sharing this information, and that it helps activate all of you guys out there too. When you're asking, well, how do I move through this idea? How do I connect to my guides? How do I understand more of all that I am? And I've literally got volumes of these, but the idea is that no matter when we see them, we can look at them now, and we can look at them 3 years from now. Like this one I did back in December of 2019. And I didn't get any very specific messages, but the date indicated this 363 energy. And so a lot of it has to do with numbers and numerology. For example, today's date I noticed is the 29th of November, or excuse me, of January. So if you're coming to us on the 29th, we've got the 29th, which is 11. And then when we add all the numbers up, it's 7. So this idea of the vibration of 7 and 11, this also means something to all of us. 7 being the idea of the symbol, the sacred symbol from Sirius for 7 is unlock. Number 11, realize. And so together we can take this as a message. When we have a realization, we unlock. That's another message about these. These are actually unlocking things within us that maybe are just, we all hold our own keys. And this is a permission slip, a key. This is for me to say, here's a key that I give you permission to open this door that you can discover more of yourself, and you don't need to be afraid to do that. We're so afraid of discovering we're always afraid to do something new, but the worst thing that'll happen is we'll discover something more about ourselves. And even if we've discovered something that we don't want or don't prefer, well, isn't that part of the beauty of it all? And we've talked about this many, many times, but I think that it serves to be resaid more than once, that we sometimes forget. I even said to Dave this week, in my own, sometimes I forget to apply my own tools. Use your tools, use your tools. I heard it as plain as day, use your tools. Sometimes I forget the obvious. I forget, sit and breathe. Sit and listen to something that changes your focus from what you don't want to what you, at least, even if it doesn't take you to where you do want, it takes you away from what you don't want. And it just changing up, making the conscious decision to change your vibration by doing something that brings you joy, even if it's taking a walk, getting a cup of tea, having something to eat. Sometimes we need water, and again, even that intentionalization of the water. I have to remind myself sometimes that when I'm not feeling well, or if there's something that's bothering me, I forget. I can just speak to the water in my body. I can ask it to help to eliminate, not help relieve it, remove it, to change my focus, that I'm focusing on a version of myself that doesn't contain the thoughts and vibrations that are creating the symptom of pain. And I don't know if there's really a better way to say that, but I forget that I can just do that. Oh, I can tell my water that in my water, I can say, help me have a better day, even if I don't know how that is. And so all of these things are available to us, and yet we often forget the obvious. And those of us who do speak light languages or tone or sing, and you guys don't even need to be singing it or doing anything. So you can walk through the woods and hum. You know, we took a beautiful walk the other day spontaneously. Thanks for Beck. I'm making everybody aware that, you know, to keep, and actually I should probably do a better job of screen sharing and things, but so that everybody can see these, but all of this is activating for everybody. And so I wanted to see too if Beck, I love it. She's got in the numbers in our internal chat here, she's got 111 and 22. So it's interesting how all of these numbers come into play. And so thanks you guys so much for hanging out with us and hop in. Like I said, the link's there if you guys want to hop in. So I wanted to start out too, and we're all kind of holding up our symbols too. So maybe if you guys too, what I think I'd like to do, and this is something we haven't done in a little while, and since there's only a couple of us, I think it would be fun because we haven't really started out with any light languages and sound kind of stuff. And since we're kind of talking about symbols, and I wanted to say too, that one of the things that we've been exploring and Dave and I've been exploring a lot is the idea of using permission slips and relics. And so I wanted to kind of hold up this beautiful brass ankh. I've showed it to you guys before. And so just the idea of its presence, and how that even when we're using intention to use something such as this as a healing tool, as a representation of maybe another time period that we call the time period in linear time, but to understand that all of these, whether it's crystals or oracle cards or symbolism or these kinds of physical things in your environment, all of us use physical things because we're a physical world. We use feathers, we use stones, we use crystals, we use seashells. We use things to remind us of our multidimensionality, of that we are sacred geometry, that we are numbers, that we are equations, that we are part of all that is. And so these are the kinds of things that accelerate the idea of the human race accelerating in a snowball effect, in that once we all start using these things more intentionally, it builds upon itself, and the energy builds upon itself. And the more we do it, the more we want to do it. And the more others, even when they're around us, say in our normal everyday lives, even meaning we're not in spiritual hangouts and things, or speaking light languages, although we have to remember too, we can speak them telepathically, and it all matters. It all matters. Makes a difference. It changes matter. So when we're using these material objects, it literally activates, and I know it activates me a lot. And so the more we add, the more activating it is. And it helps us remember that these are not separate things from us, that all of these tools from all of the dimensions and what we want to call other timelines, we have access to all of that information and all of that ability. And light languages helps activate and bring all that in, but you don't need to speak them in order to use these intentions. But the other side of that is we can also use these intentions and these relics, permission slips, to even activate light language if that's something you want to do. And so many people have asked me that, is that something that I do? Yes, that is something that I do with people, helping them, activating their own whatever. Because a lot of times what happens, what I've discovered with light language, and maybe you guys can comment on this too in your own experience here, in the light language itself has helped me open up my throat chakra, because it helps when we're more authentic. It helps open up our throat chakras, but by speaking our truth and being authentic, it actually activates those things. What happens too is when we're not speaking our truth, when we're not living our passion, when we're settling for less than what we really want in our lives, or that we believe we can't have it. That's an even bigger thing, believing we can't have it. And that because we place the limitations of the reasons why we think we can't have it, instead of just saying, no, that's what I want. and letting our higher mind take care of the rest, the who, the what, the why, the how, letting it bring to us by synchronicity and then us acting on it. But the thing with what helps with light language is a lot of times it helps us say the things we want to say in order to facilitate these things in our life that we want. And so it becomes this almost a mirror effect, because then it also then, once you're discover that ability, then it becomes its own mirror back and forth. It not only creates the ability to access more information, but then apply more information, receive more information, and so forth. So it's very interesting how it becomes this constant reflection of, do I like where I am right now? No, I don't. How do I change that? Oh, yes, I can do that by intention, and light languages are using something, a permission slip to say, even if it's not going to solve my problem, it's going to take me out of the vibration of the problem and allow the solutions to appear to me, because I'm no longer in the vibration of the resistance of the problem. And now I've moved into the vibration of where the solutions appear. Because a lot of times we think we only have 1 or 2 or 3 options, because that's all our physical mind can kind of process at one time. We kind of really think we only have a couple of options. And the thing is that we limit ourselves to all these other options because we are not capable of thinking of them. That's the job of our higher mind. Our job is to create the vision of the thing that we want. Is it peace? Is it I want a nice place to live. I want to feel calm. I want to feel happy. I want to live in somewhere where it's bright. I want to be warm. I want to be as general as we can be, because as soon as we start manufacturing little details, we start telling ourselves, oh, but I can't. As soon as we start talking about the details, we start talking about all the reasons why we can't do it, keeping it as general as possible. How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel when you wake up every day? Put that out there. And then, and even the bed you sleep in. It's because I'm laughing because we just got a new bed. So it's just this idea of creating the space of intention to accelerate our own acceleration, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to take a drink of water, and then I'm going to speak. I want to do a quick light language blessing to kind of sort of begin to integrate some of the stuff that we've begun talking about. Then, and I would like to open it up to Dolores and back to, if there's anything that you guys would like to share about some of this or anything else, and please do, as far also light language blessings and activations, whatever intentions you like. And that's another reason why we do this, you guys, is because if you're out there and this is a way for all of us to share in a free open space to do this. Yet I want to remind all of you that I and Dolores and Beck also do this on a one-on-one basis. So it's about, sometimes this opens the door, but then we need sometimes that one-on-one or that mentoring or that trust, that place where it's a quiet space. And one of the things I wanted to invite you guys to in that, if you're new to these hangouts, in that once we go off live, and if we stop live on YouTube, but it's still, many of us are still hanging around in the Zoom room. And even if I can't stay, a lot of other people stay and interact with each other. And a lot of people have become friends and interacted with each other and had sessions together. So that's another one of the beauty of all of this. And, and I often don't really say anything about my website but for all of this stuff and there's all of these videos, over 1,000 videos for you guys. And so if ever you feel that this is beneficial, this information is beneficial, or if you want to help support the channel, help support the Zoom room I pay for just so we can do this, so that we can, and all of the things that the technology that goes into this, that helps put this out there, and for Bree as well. Bree, hey Bree, who's always working hard and doing the posts behind the scenes with me, for me as well. And so all of the things that go into this, it's always appreciated. On my website, you can find my services. There's a donate button on the website and on the contact page if you guys want to contact me privately, if you want book sessions, learn more about my story, watch the videos. All of this content really has been a passion, just a passion of mine. And so I appreciate it. And I wanted to say thank you to all of you who have blessed me and the things that have happened, the people that I've met because of this and what I do in YouTube. And I wouldn't have met Dave. I wouldn't have met probably most of you had it not been for my YouTube channel. And so, and my website offers a way to do this, to continue this work so I appreciate all your donations. I appreciate your sessions. It helps keeping all this going. And I really don't talk about that much, but I wanted, because really a lot of time and effort and love and goes into all of this, and a lot of planning and things. So I know because we do this and have been doing it for a while, sometimes we make it look really easy, and Bree is really good at what she does too. And so I wanted to just remind all of you that if you appreciate this, share these videos, share the stuff on your social media. Let people know that this is a place where they can come and talk and spend time and learn about light languages and come to a safe place, and that it's not about social media. It's not about popularity. It's not about any of that. It's about being real and authentic. And the love that I receive from all of you has been truly beyond measure, and the changes, the things that I've discovered in my life. So anyway, with all of that said, thank you. And I'm going to offer this blessing to all of you. And again, embed your ideas, your intentions in your water as you drink every day. Be grateful for the beauty of the food that you eat, and remind yourselves that all of this is a beautiful energy exchange, and everything is a gift, and everything is a message. Everything. And we have a little fly visiting today too. So. Isha se iana Maria tavishno se liana ki. Emiseta shi iana vilakose si isha no se lea malakota revashno se liana ki. Pliana nialu ubai inaniato veashno se ti atu ti amaliana malakopayasha se vishina tilandi intafia sonoviana ki itasha sebo sonopashanati leki soposho. He really likes me. So shotiali ambako tabaniana. So unta veshina city laki ivashana saviana malakota veshinatea. And that's another thing I guess I'm guided to say, is that things will gravitate toward you when you're in a high vibration. Animals, people that need you, people that need your light, your love, your acceptance. And sometimes people are in our lives to help us see contrast. They are simply a gift and a messenger to show us what we do not prefer, in order for us to find what we do need, what we truly need. So it is time to really start asking, what is it that I truly need? What is it that I need to fulfill? What is it that I need to just be in joy every day? Even if we don't know what that is. Light language is part of that. What do I need? Help me here. What is it that I need? Because sometimes we're so embroiled in what we think we want, we are not even sure what we need. We don't know what we need. And so allow these messages to remind us to ask for what we need, what brings us passion and joy, and to not be afraid to follow that, because someone else might not follow that passion, might not serve that need. And that's okay. It's okay, because it's to show you that is part of their agreement, gift, part of the play that we play together, is to show us that is their gift, their message to you, to us, is that They came solely to show us that which we don't prefer, simply to help us catapult to a place that we do, and to be all that we can be, and see the love. I've said so many times in my own struggles for self-worth and acceptance that sometimes it's hard for us to see someone else looking at us in unconditional love, because we feel maybe we don't deserve it. And sometimes it's hard to be reminded that we are all unconditional love. And sometimes we even get agitated when we know that we see something that represents something that we want very badly, and yet we get angry or resentful, or we act out in ways toward people and people that we love, because we see something we want and don't feel or believe that we can have it. And sometimes it's so difficult to look at someone, or to see someone's unconditional love in their eyes. And I've said to Dave so many times, thank you for showing me the love that I see is so overwhelming that it's almost as if it's so big, yet it reminds you, all of us, that we're all deserving of that and capable of receiving and giving that unconditional love. And sometimes we can't see our own beauty. We can't see our own light. We can't see beyond our own circumstances. And so often we have to do this in other, I see people waiting, sorry you guys. We see, this fly is driving me crazy. We see the love in someone else's eyes, and it reminds us that we also are all equal in respect to receiving and sending that love. So I wanted to welcome, we've got Beverly here. Hey, Beverly. Oh, let me see. I got to get my, okay, so if I can see everybody here. And who else did we have join today? Oh, did Ramon join? Let's see. And there's Dolores. Okay. Hey, Beck. Okay. So I wanted to thank you guys. Hey, Beverly. So Dolores, hey sister, how's it going? So thank you for joining us here from Croatia. So how you doing? I know it's late there. So what words of wisdom and light languages do you have to share with us today about maybe some of the topics we've talked about, or maybe something else you'd like to share? Hey, Bree. Bree's saying hi. Hey, Bree, how you doing?
Hello to everyone. Thank you.
She's on her way. Woo-hoo. Go ahead, Dolores. Hey, Beverly, how you doing?
Irvanaha Kiatore Nihere Hamwana Katarayana Helene Kiatova Mikien Hermena Naharana Kayotia Harahe Hilavahana Kayoho Mi Ha Tihiranakia Taranana, Tihiravanahantiano, Tihirakira Hanate, Tihalanatayo, Tihara Mahantana, Nikeleriena, Tahiakiatara Havanamatana. There are infinitive possibilities to resolve everything that we perceive as task. Really infinitive possibilities. The question is, as I see it, what do we want? Do we want walking our path as we were till now, be led by our conditioned mind, or is our wish to become aware who we really are? We can create everything we want, but we can create totally unaware how and what we are creating, or pretty much aware what we want to create. As I see it, my way is to become aware who I really am. And as my experience is, first, I have to be what I want to see that is. First, I who am that have to be that what I want to perceive as creation or in creation in this beautiful, beautiful material world. Et hara anakayo, et harana larahantia koeata. Everything is good. Each way we choose is good. Everyone has freedom to choose whatever he or she wants to choose. Unconditional love is responsible for that, because unconditional love says everything and to everyone, yes, yes, yes. Do you ask aware what you ask, or do you totally, or are you totally unaware what are you asking? In both way, unconditional love says yes, yes. I'm here to provide you, to give you, to fulfill your wish. Whatever you want, do you want it to know what you want, or do you want it not to know what you want? Lihya kiravane, lihya mataranayoko, lihya marahantanakayo. Light language, as I feel, see, or believe now, through my experiences I passed, is beautiful, magnificent, and so powerful gift to all of us, who help us to see what everything is closer, what the truth is of everything. Because light language bypasses our mind, our conditional mind. We, as I see it, as I perceive it, all really much love to tell our stories. It is not bad, it's good. Okay, we can tell our stories. We are telling our stories all the time, from the first day of our life, or for the first time we was able to speak, to tell our stories till the end of our life. But do we wish to continue to telling our stories, or is our wish really to be everything that is? Because story is nice. Story is capable to gives us very good and pleasant feelings, excitements, and so on. But the biggest excitement is awareness who we really are. That we are all one, that we are unconditional, that we are infinitive, that we are our mind cannot describe what we are. Our mind is trying to explain, to describe, but our mind doesn't have that possibility. When we arise in our awareness above our mind, there is, maybe I can say the true story, but there is no story at all. So, mihalaya, ntakarawa, entira manahaya keter ananaha, lehe kyotara hanananaha. Everything as I see, as I perceive what we maybe need or don't must, but it will be good to be aware what we really want. Sooner or later, everyone will come to that point of being aware who we really are. Faster or not, but everyone will go to the goal. So I believe that to want to feel somehow is wish of our mind, because mind wants to be safe and wants to feel good, pleasant, relaxed all the time. But that what I am, who I really am, is always in blessings, in peace, in unconditional love, is always in state of ananda, in state of truth, in state of peace, and in state of love, unconditional love. So we can play in sand as a child did, but what do you want? Continue to play in a sand as a child, or do you want to grow up and become aware who you really are? Lahnaya, laharavano, lehina katarana. Every moment of your life, you have everything you need. All of us, we have everything we need. Everything that comes to us, everything that we perceive outside or inside is telling us, are calling us to pay attention, because they is asking us to see, because they can tell us who we really are. They can show us the way to find out who we really are. El mana, el kayo tarahavana, el karayana, el katiero hetia karananaha. Heyak ya tarana hova he katire. Hiyo kormana nahala kieto ti nahare yakwo. Himeno katarana naha helvayo kyate. Helmena haravanato kirvana hatarananaka. Helmena kataranaya koti haramanatornoho. Yak yataro mahwanakate liye. Unconditional love always says yes. Taranamahayo, taranakaye, tarahamana vahantakoya haranaha. Namaste. Thank you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. See what a beautiful message that comes through when you just allow it to flow through. Thank you for all of that. And yes, what you said is what we've been talking about for a lot, especially lately, and even here, Dave and I, conscious creating, where we create every day, like you said, without knowing what we're creating or what we even want. So we create things we don't want because we don't know what we want. And so we are just unconsciously creating all the time. And what we don't understand is we are conscious creators. And when we intend, we can do that. And so, yeah, thank you. That was really, really good. And yeah, that's Hope said that too in the YouTube chat. She said, wow, that was wonderful. So thank you. And hey, Maria and Guru Dan, oh my God, I haven't seen you in 100 years, dude. Hey, I'm so shocked to see you.
Surprise.
A surprise. Wow, that's great. Well, it's good to have you. Good to have you. So yeah, sit tight if you will. I hope you can stick around for a little bit. And
I'll stick around for the after chat. Yeah, go ahead. I'll just sit here quiet. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. Good to see you, Dan. Hey, Beck. So, hey, I wanted to see if you wanted to share a little bit and share some light languages. And I tell you, today, this is one of the first days I actually feel like singing. So I'm like, I'm feeling more of that coming out lately too. So anyway, how are you, girl? You got something to share and some light, how about a light language blessing?
Yeah, I've had a very different week. So I'm gonna keep it real to what's been going on with me because it's quite similar, but yet not. So I was shown the numbers 3, 2, 1, which means I'm going backwards. So there's a reason I go backwards. It's so I can see things clearly. So I've had a lot of duality, big time. I've had people in front of me what are literally the polar opposite. And perhaps things what I don't necessarily agree with and things like that. So I've been to a school tonight, and I really don't like how they're really strict and things like that. And the pattern for me over this past week or so has been about authority and about very much so about authority and indoctrinate and subordinate, which come up this morning, because indoctrinate, which is someone who's talking you into something and they'll keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it and repeating it till you believe it. Because this morning, basically, I found myself doing some light language and a bit of a ritual for myself. And then I thought, I've got into this pattern and I don't know where it's come from because I've never been religious or anything like that, where I feel like I need to pray and I feel like I need to be good and I need to be really good and I need to be a good girl, basically. So I'd got into this pattern and I found myself really upset. And then I thought, I've just had enough of this. I'm not even bothered if I don't even love or light anymore. I'm just being and keeping it real to what I'm feeling in that moment. Because I believe being multidimensional means being multidimensional. So sometimes we're going to be 3D, sometimes we're going to be 4D, sometimes we might be 11D. You know what I mean? So it's there's a reason we go back and forth, and sometimes we need to integrate further and further and further. So I've had a lot of experiences, but I've had a lot of extremely sort of unexpected integration from them experiences. So when I was at this school tonight, I was so angry because I'm just I just wanted to pull my daughter out of school. I was just I've had enough. I was just I've had enough of these systems. It's a long time since I was at school, but it's exactly the same thing what's going on. So I come out and I was like, it's not the people, it's the systems, and they keep building upon the systems and doing the same thing. And then all of a sudden, it just all just integrated and lit my fire within, because I realised that it just made me realise that what was stopping me was from people telling me I couldn't do it because I wasn't good enough at school, and that because I couldn't be taught in their way, and success to them's competition, which goes with this indoctrinate and subordinate thing and the war programming which has been coming up very much. So it's so layered, it's so past life. I've had a lot with Atlantis and disembodiment. I saw this thing and it was where there was getting different parts of, they were getting different parts of like sea animals and trying to put them together. I seen this really gruesome thing, and I feel it was showing me that we're continuing to do that in this lifetime by fixing things what don't need fixing. So we automatically think something needs fixing, whereas the polarity and the duality, actually, it's needed. If you think of the yin and yang, it's needed, and there's them come together. That is the whole. You need both. You can take it from a midpoint where you've got both sides and there's no polarity, there's no like, it wouldn't bother you either way which way it goes. But sometimes you need the opposites where you are so literally on the complete opposite ends of the spectrum to actually force it in together, because these patterns, they're so deeply ingrained, we can't see them. There's like, and they go deep. So I wanted to just do a bit of light language to help with those programming, because the indoctrinate ones, it's very much like water torture. That's how I feel it when that happened for me, like when I was younger, where you've constantly got the same thing. It's like same thing being said to you over and over and over and over again, and you're not allowed to express yourself. So just as we started, I'd not been listened to again, and I'm meant to have a free night tonight, and it's being shown to me so much, and it's like I've even had cats what won't leave me alone, and I'm like, I just want some space. I just want some space. Will you please give me some space? So it's just been relentless, but there's been some incredible things with it, like what I didn't expect as well, like accepting the masculine. So I realized that it's not about changing the masculine, it's about acceptance. And if they are the complete polar opposite to you, it's actually a really great thing, because there's something to learn from one another, and working together in that, it balances everything out. So a lot of integration, a lot of splitting apart and then putting back together. So I'll do some light language. I'm hoping this is helpful for other people.
No, it is. And sharing these experiences is very helpful for other people.
I don't know if anyone else is feeling there.
Of course. And I was just laughing because how much the things that you were saying were very similar to what's been going on in my life and other people's lives. So anyway, yes, carry on.
I've had communication with ETs at night time, in the middle of the night, and they've been helping, and something happened last night with that what was quite dualistic, because when they was helping me, I kind of went the opposite way, and I went like, so it must have brought something up, and I was like, what if this isn't someone who's trying to help me? And I like proper went into that, and then they give me a mantra, so I had to like Google it and see what it meant, and it was about how there's a sun in the sky and a sun within you, and just because one's there and one's here, they're no different. And I was like, somehow I'd forgot that, because I'd been took back. You kind of go asleep, don't you? So you don't see things or feel things the same. So as soon as that said, it just integrated me like that, and I was like, oh, thank you. So it's just been a bit different, because like these beings was in touch with me last year as well, and like I'd not seen them in a long time. So it's pretty cool.
Well, that's pretty exciting too. So that's another thing that when we talk about light language, is that's another thing that does help, is to bring that in, have interactions with our ET friends and our guides, and then remember them more fully when we wake up. So
no, I was awake. I was awake. So
you were awake. I see what you're saying. Okay.
It was outside. It was in
the sky. Okay. Well, that's even better.
So it, like I said, it doesn't happen very often, but like they communicate to me through lights, and I've realized the signaling what I'm doing with this is coming from them. So they use pulsated light. If you've ever meditated in a mirror and it flashes a little bit like that, it's the only way it looks like that coming to you. It's really interesting. Yeah, I feel like you can connect with that.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's funny you said that. I did a thing. I learned something through Bashar, through an event that he did, and I did a series. I have a playlist on my channel, and it's called Know Thyself, and it was for 7 weeks, for 49 days. You do for 7 days a week for 49 days for 7 weeks, 7 days a week, and every day you say something in the mirror. And you do this, and it only takes like a couple seconds, maybe 30 seconds or a minute. And you look in the mirror and there's something that, and every day you say something different. You know, every day of the week, there's something different to say. And it's interesting what happens in these interactions with ourselves, looking in the mirror, just saying these things like, I am loved, I am nurtured, I am supported, I am fulfilled. And it's like every day you just say like 3 things. That's it. You say it in the morning, you say it in the evening, you're done. It takes a couple seconds. But the funny thing is that I found is how hard it is for us to look in the mirror and say nice things to ourselves. And just that exercise alone helps us open to what you just said of actually meditating in the mirror, but you're able to see other versions of yourselves and you receive other information. You literally can almost see your face morph, like in the mirror, looking at, I've seen different versions of myself from all different places by doing things. And it's very strange. So funny that you mentioned that. So yeah, if you like to share some light languages, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just I feel really strongly about this indoctrinate and subordinate thing. So it's like, I feel that that's where that patterning was coming in for me. Like, I've not had a religion thing, it had just been passed over, but I was getting stuck in a loop pattern again, where I felt that I needed someone to help me. I found myself like praying a lot and going, help me, because I'm stuck, I feel stuck, help me. And I realized that subconsciously I've been trying to wait for someone to help me, but there's nothing to help me with. So there's like, it's the patterning. So it's like being stuck on a loop. So I want to help people with the loops, and I'm going to use blue flame energy and anything else what comes through. So hopefully trying to balance this a little bit. Orka ahekotut eata tak ot ekara a. Ruktik akat ukutukut ekarak at o eat aruk ek arak at a. Ruk et a tukut ek a aruk ek a arut or eta or et a oruk. Ruk ik at ak or ot ek ar at o. Ruk di ek at ruk ek or ek aruk. Ik ar tuk ik a. Ruk ik a u ruk u ik u ruk ik artut e ork atak ik ook ja ook e ruk ik a ruk ik a ruk a ruk a ik goed a ik ook ik ja ruk ik or ook ruk ik at u e ar goed ik at ruk ik at ook ik at ruk ik at ook ik ut ikark at atuk urko urk itak urk at urk at urk ik artko ru ik art ik atuk ika ik ki ar ook ik art ik art ik art ik ruk ik
Okay, that was energetic. That was awesome. Boy, I could just feel that all over the multiverse. I just had to take a breath.
I do this as well, not too sure. I don't know if you can see.
Look, and I drew something very similar to that today. Look at this one.
Oh wow, yeah, because it's about the balance, isn't it? So
yes, that's funny because that's where we both drew almost, kind of that yin and yang kind of thing.
And then there's like,
I really feel that transmission. Oto inshavi intagia amba yasa na intolia o goyasha mi intavia antodiama antigiata vi ashada mi anta malaka di ashasa ba intavia sama alaka vision and yomalaka di amesana malakota yasha satoku. Nima yasha na mariata vision at yellow biashana vi antaviata by intavia kishama seta yata vashana taviatoku. Milai and Darvashana tavianta vikiasa of Valenta Shana City at Vikaya Malete, Sevashana Tivilanta, Kashana Sela. Leva sono tiblanta via pacoia manetera so valento de visete. Le hana viriato vashana to vianda ba ikia shana se, savia shana tali kiara, savianda re vashana liambara koshara silo koshava shora sevalanturku. Liana niato vakia tara shete ki itara, so moshe si alianda re kirsa fashote. Ma amaleata vakiana malausa, shatiala ndera show. Niana intore be anto kiasa sabat ni tosha anto japa ingejada be anta antiesho o ama antiatu o ono no va shisha mi antalia shasa antalia va ukasha seto I vasono da vishane java ankotia shasa selo kusavate tore fashe si vishana tivala kusavasena tala apakeshana sela shite si mariando ria vashana tela kiasa vashana selasha she asha shashana Savo se balando revacala, te versiona, se veleando revasho, mi tea. Si venala ria fasciona telecosa, a passera, sana tela ci. Mi antara shela fatera, shena gurmatere sela, meta, anisha, shana tariko, palita, nisa talvishono saliato, mitavasha. Se vasciona dialogo da varia sono tela che se ne fiseto, I san mete. Ti kashana taviando viatoria vashana sela se vashana teva uteva shana sela ki vashana se la vashana tevalianto revensana te ti tare ki samaso patare shana I vashana tiala tia atavashana se te isa satali ma vashana tevalianto revashana teva kusava asatali shana velamba ko e pashana sela vatore ni tavashana se si tosha itave Ni Maria Navakota Vashone, si lasce, si vashote, lava shonoteva la terra santeva coia, lasciana tavitore. La hitava, so vashare, I savashonate, I su meshari kifo, savashonate, tove kiatore she. Unaya koye unala selua no ku leha. Lenaya koya shu nela hale Nelati no me alo asho nuru kehina halase noru hana ashakana ashamana shu unahe lona shoru she kanoha lenoat kushehina sulute. Ishanu haimia sofishanati ala kiabasone diarako sebashonatela isahi nimaya shanoteya hate darekusha sese sebashonati inkia davashonate vilana itavaso isha so vashanate kia na kaya tavashonate velo apasola soleliano lavashonate le luna lavashonate la kashanasho la se itava noma itai shoteve Shoishi, Shonapelenta, Ila, Sonovelenta, Opaya, Lese, Tinatala, La Shonate, Ilakuse, Sinatala, Lesho, Nitala, Nite, Natiala, Mahala, Leoshonata. Well, that's the most I've spoken in a while. Woo, that raised my temperature. We'll see how the sharing helps us all activate each other. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. So so thank you guys for all of that. Thank you, Becky. Beverly, how are you? How are you today? Did you want to say hello? Did you want to share anything today? How are you? Oh, hang on. You're muted, darling. You're muted. Can you unmute yourself? Hang on. Oh, I gotta see. I gotta let some more people in. Hang on.
Is that it?
Yep. Now you're good. I can hear you. Okay, you guys. Sorry to keep you waiting. If you're in there as attendees, sorry. Try to keep up with everybody. I have my eyes closed.
Yeah, I was a bit late tonight, so I don't know what you were talking about earlier on before I came in.
Doesn't matter.
So busy. Thank you for all the prayers and things last week. Really helped. Can't tell you how much it helped. I couldn't believe it. Thursday was like a different day. Friday was excellent. It was like back to my old self. So it was great. And the powers that be or whatever decided to give me a break from the downloads and let me have a few days rest, which I was pretty grateful for. And then they started up again a couple of days ago, but I can deal with it now. Strange dream that I can't account for. I don't watch the news. I don't watch telly. I know what's basically going on in the world, but only snippets of things. I had a dream that I was in a country house. I was with my parents, and I must have been younger, well, maybe teenager. And some soldiers came in my house, and they looked to be wearing German uniforms, but they weren't German uniforms. But it was very similar, very smart. A young man of about 19, and he was very impressionable, very young. And my father wanted him to help him with the electrics. And so he did. He was really quite kind. He was being put in a position that he didn't want to be put in. And then what we was doing is we was doing something in the loft to hide the animals. This was in my dream. Hide the animals. When we came down, there were some more soldiers coming to the house, and they had killed my mum and another woman, a sister, I don't know. I just know that there was two people that were lying. They were shot dead in the living room. And this young man, he looked, and it was the look of, I have to do as I'm told. And I woke up, and it was so bizarre because like I said, I didn't know what this week was about. I don't look at the papers. And when I got to work and I told my friend about the dream, she says, "Oh, you must have been listening to the radio because it's the anniversary of Holocaust and this sort of thing." And I said, "I didn't know that."
Explain some things. That just explains some things for me too. So anyway, that's just funny that you said, because I did not know that either. I don't watch the news either. We don't watch television.
No.
But I should know. There's something I feel like I should know, and I didn't know that. So that's.
Yeah, so really a strange dream. I don't know why. I kept thinking, hang on a minute, what is this trying to tell me? Is this a past life?
Well, you kind of answered the question yourself, because I was just going to say right before you said a past life was, and this is something I've been experiencing a lot lately. Dreams I've had 20 years ago. But what I'm saying is that these are, when we're in our dream state, we're actually our multidimensional state, meaning we can experience everything. And the first thing I thought of was, because similar things have been happening to me the last couple of weeks, very strongly, more than ever, is that was in another reality experience, that actually happened. You were a part of it. You were there. I've been experiencing a lot of these things over the last few years, but especially the last few weeks and months. So, and I'm seeing dreams, or remembering dreams now, that filling in the blanks, and I know they were places that I've been. I know that. And some of them I've been there before, but my very first impression was that was a revisitation, or not a revisitation, but maybe that's not the right term, but a visitation to another reality in which you are another version of Earth, or another reality, or maybe that particular time, as we know time. But we have to remember too that there were a number of those timelines as well. There's many versions of even that incident, is what I'm saying. But we have a collective agreement that we move through the same one as we move through the same experience collectively, but even that changes but nonetheless, maybe that's what you were. Okay. So interestingly enough, funny you said that about the news and stuff, because I was getting feelings and visions of things and I don't watch the news either, only to find out, I was getting visions of, say, him playing basketball, Dave playing basketball, for example. And this is kind of the synchronicity stuff. And what I didn't realize is that I've been having that vision all morning. And then after Dave was talking to AJ, that our grandson here, he actually said Kobe Bryant had died in a plane crash along with other people, who was a former basketball player here in the United States. So it was what I was feeling too, that I understood that day, was there were things that I was feeling that I didn't understand. And there was things that I was feeling even from AJ, because, we feel each other's energy when you live in the same house with people. And I was feeling the collective energy of the mourning of what was happening, that they were mourning these people that had just died in this crash. So I'm getting maybe even that impression that maybe that's why you were revisiting that idea, is because maybe somehow you were, well, not maybe, I feel as if you were probably tapping into the human collective consciousness, that when you have a lot of people concentrating on their awareness in that particular event, very easy for those of us who are telepathic to tap into that and literally experience that pain, the agony, all the things that went with that, and even that very specific experience that you had. So that's kind of an impression that I got as well. And it's funny that you said maybe it's a past life. It was almost like, and we have to remember too, everything's now, you guys. There is no such thing as past lives. They're happening right now.
Yeah.
So we forget.
Past, present. Yeah.
So it's very, a lot of this stuff is very strong.
I'm learning more and more about myself. Again, the more that we're even using these, you know, relics and things as permission slips, but I'm learning more and more about my other past lives, my parallel lives. And even I'm learning more about things in my own 3D life that I wasn't even aware of, that are all tied to all of this, that I synchronicities throughout my life, and just this, just different things that we're able to become more aware of. And I likened it to that day too, which now I understand. You've actually enlightened me to that, to what I might have been feeling as well, because I was actually talking about that very day, how much like when, say, Princess Diana transitioned.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the human collective consciousness that was going on that day, the mourning and the remembering. But, and the thing is that those that had channeled her had said, she said, please don't mourn me, celebrate the things that I did, and do the things that I did that you loved, and be the me that you appreciated in me. Because when you guys collectively are mourning me, I feel that. I don't want to feel that. I want to feel the love and because we as a collective mourn because we feel that we've lost something. And the reason we feel that way is because we feel icky, because it's something our higher self is telling us we don't need to feel, because we believe something about death and transition and this part that we all play in all of these experiences. We believe things about them that aren't true, which is why we feel sad or depressed, because it's really, well, we're feeling the collective consciousness, but we're also getting glimpses of the understanding that this is so hard for us to accept that these are just experiences, and that and can you imagine the level of judgment and forgiveness and all those things, how they would just disappear if everybody just understood these are all just experiences, and that we've all been parts of all of these things, and they may not be pleasant, or yes, maybe many of us have been in some way, shape, or form involved in these tragic events. Well, of course we were, all of us, and even just us talking about it today.
Because we're all connected.
Yes. So
Hope said
so what's the Hope said?
She and another friend have been going through a lot of that similar.
Past like this. See, so I think a lot of us are going through that right now. Oh, Stephen, oh my God, Stephen. Hey, how are you? Hey, you guys, jump in. There's a Zoom link, hop in. I haven't seen you in ages, Stephen. How are you? So yeah, go ahead, Beverly.
The other thing that keeps niggling me, niggle, is the fact that it's all to do with people moving away from eating animals.
Sorry, guys.
Eating meat.
Well, we were talking about that recently too.
Yeah, but it's coming through quite strong now. Everything. I mean, I was an avid meat eater. I loved meat, and then you know, it wasn't a conscious choice. I felt like somebody decided that I wasn't going to eat meat anymore, and they made it all rank for me. So one of my pleasures in life of eating meat, I wasn't allowed to eat meat anymore.
I went through that too for about 5 years. I no meat, and then all of a sudden one day I woke up and said, "Oh, I need meat."
Yeah, well, I was just ill, really. I mean, the smell, everything, and I thought, what is going on? You know, it was one of the first things that happened to me. But it's becoming more apparent, especially with what's going on in the world. I keep thinking to myself, and I have done for a long time, that, you know, a man has been to blame for everything that's gone wrong in the world. You can't blame anybody else. We can't blame God. We can't blame you know, it's man's fault that everything goes wrong. But what's been done to the animals and the way they treat animals, they've crossed the barrier, they've crossed the line, and it's putting people's, us, genetics and everything else at risk. You know, this fine balance, the powers that be decided to do the wrong thing. And, you know, I just feel that we've been guided to, you know, be more respectful and move away from this animal eating meat.
Well, eventually, I think that is kind of the idea that, well, eventually we just don't eat it all. But Bashar, if any of you are familiar with Bashar channel by Daryl Anka, Bashar has addressed this many times, as has Abraham Hicks and many of the channelers channels about meat and that whole idea. And it's a very big subject, which is really too big to get into right now. But there's a lot of right things though that are going on with that respect, because again, as we were talking about earlier, contrast shows us what we do and do not prefer. And yes, at some point we will all become sentient beings. We will no longer need that energy exchange. However, there's also this higher understanding that it is simply an energy exchange, and that there is this co-creation idea of that they understand, the animals themselves understand that, but I do not disagree in that the way we go about it, the way all of this is symbols for all of us as a human collective consciousness, that it doesn't have to be that way, that we can make better choices. So all of these things are, and this is something, this whole idea of meat eating and not eat meat and spirituality, and this is a huge subject, and it's been something that's been discussed in a great many of these sorts of gatherings, and a lot of people on YouTube talk about it. Many of us, myself included, have been drastically, the way my diet has been guided for these last few years has been crazy, just nonsensical. I grew up eating meat, and then all of a sudden one day, every single thing that had to do with anything with meat, eggs, milk, well, I haven't drank milk anyway, but for lactose reasons. But the point is, all of a sudden it became so disgusting. Like, I'm talking overnight, everything I loved became disgusting.
Yeah, me too.
It was overnight. Literally, I woke up and said, I can't eat that anymore. And I probably went for, I want to say, I keep saying it was about 5 years before that I didn't eat meat. But then what happened was I went the opposite, even though I was eating consciously and carefully and all of that, I started to feel really sick again, like really sick. Like, I'm talking like didn't want to get out of bed and stuff. And I'm thinking, well, not get out. I mean, it was just, my energy was so low, and there was so many things that didn't feel right. My skin, my hair, my everything didn't feel right. And so it was one day, it was almost as if it was like my body saying, okay, we had all this medication from a bunch of, thing, and it was almost like this reset. My body needed a complete reset. Then it said, okay, I woke up one day, swear to God, and that's what I heard, you need a cheeseburger. So right away, my resistance goes like, oh, gross, like, ew. And then I heard, well, if that bothers you, I swear to you guys, if that bothers you, you need to start with something that you can tolerate. And they said, can you start with eggs? And it was a process. It wasn't like overnight, but it wasn't long before I literally went and had a cheeseburger, because my body finally got to the point where it said, it was literally starving for things it wasn't getting. And it was a combination of other things too, because I think in our trying to get enough food, I still wasn't eating enough in general. And so, because we also tend to, if you're eating meat, you tend to eat other things that go along with it that you wouldn't normally eat otherwise either. So it was a combination of all of those things, but I did a complete about face. The problem is our resistance to all of it. It's not what we're eating, it's how we feel about what we're eating. And that's the resistance itself is what creates the havoc in our bodies. If we can be okay with the fact that for you may be like now I wake up and I'm like, one day I want to eat sugar all day, junk food, or it's the resistance though that causes the problem. Go with it and do it. Just do it. But if it's that far outside of your belief systems that you can't do it, that's a different story. And that's a whole different thing that needs to be explored, which is a big subject as well. But the idea is that it's the resistance to it, that if we can allow ourselves to listen to our bodies and go through these changes and not say, label, label, label. Well, I can't do that because in my head now, I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian. My belief system now is so ingrained in me that even though my body's telling me I need an enzyme from animal fat, I'm not going to get it because my belief system is going to resist it and say, well, that's not what I believe anymore. I cannot eat that. That's not really the best way to go about it either. So it's about how you react to it, how you respond to it, and do you go with it? Do you not? Hey, Bree, welcome back. It's about how we go with it. And I've honestly, you guys, I found my experience, if I just go with it, it all adjusts itself and your body will tell you exactly what it needs. And I think myself, I'm beginning to understand, I'm even able to start to feel that in my experience here with other people, being able to identify what they need. I'm talking down to the mineral, down to the, like I was able to recognize, and it's a different story and it's a different situation. But the point is that when you're in tune to a particular thing, specifically your body, it's going to tell you today, and all you're going to do is just crave it, but that your body's saying, I need it. I want some orange juice. Well, I was able to recognize the other day that somebody was severely in need of vitamin C. So, but the answer was also part for me. I also needed it. So you see what I'm saying? So it is a big subject, and there's a lot of schools and thoughts and perspectives on all of this with respect to food and spirituality. I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. I think that they all are right for who we are in our particular moment. And I think the most important thing is that we go with it, that we accept who we are in that moment. And even if it means eating something that you don't want to read the label, then do it, because you probably need something in there that your body needs that maybe you don't understand the alchemy of how this plus this equals this. And even though we think it's not something we want, maybe it's something we do want. That doesn't mean you're going to eat it forever. Maybe you'll just eat it once. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be okay. We need to lighten up on ourselves. We need to be more forgiving with the things that we want. And for God's sakes, if all you want to eat is tea and chocolate all day, one day, well, for God's sakes, then eat tea and chocolate all day, but drink the best tea and eat the best chocolate you can get. You know what I'm saying?
Never let a belief stand in the way of following your intuition.
That's right. Exactly. So, and all of this falls into this idea of belief systems, that we allow our belief systems to dictate things, even if it doesn't serve us anymore. So, and this is not saying that it does or doesn't serve you. It's just the idea that I have also had this experience, and a lot of us have. Even, Bree, many of us have talked about changes in our dietary needs and being okay with going with them, and listening to your body, and all of this is part of self-healing too. When we talk about self-healing, it's about raising your vibration to no longer contain the thoughts and beliefs that create the symptoms of disease. Disease is the symptom, guys, of something else. It's not the thing. It's not the thing. It's the symptom. Sean, I was just thinking about you. I just want to let you know too, I haven't received my mail. I haven't received all my stuff yet. So pretty soon I will have whatever you sent me. So I didn't want you to think I've been ignoring you. I don't have it yet, but I know it's on its way. So I just wanted to let you know. So I know that's a personal message, but I felt like I needed to tell you. So good to see you, Sean. So anyway, Beverly, back to what you were talking about, that whole idea of the meat and the animals. And yes, I do believe that we will be moving into that idea of all of us will be sentient beings. I mean, that's kind of what we all really want, don't we? And so I think that our bodies are going to also develop into where we just simply won't need that anymore, is what I think will happen. But again, I'm being reminded, you guys, I'm being reminded there's billions of possible Earths and we're moving through them moment by moment. This is just one. There's Earths and where it's all different kind, this is just one version of it. And we have to remember that we're traversing through these for the sake of experience. And this is not the only one reality. It's not the only one thing. It's not the only one way. It's just, what does it mean to you? What is it telling you? Maybe it's just simply telling us, pay more attention to your body, pay more attention to your cells, pay more attention to what it's telling you. Maybe it's got nothing to do with all of that, or maybe it does. It obviously, well, not obviously, inherently, there's no meaning to life. We apply the meaning moment by moment based upon our thoughts and beliefs, and then we act accordingly. So I don't know if that helps your situation or not, or if I've gone in a completely different direction.
Yeah, in my understanding, we literally crave different foods and nutrients depending on what stage of our physical light body ascension we're literally going through, and depending on what energies are coming into the planet. If it's plasma frequencies, our bodies have to integrate that in a different way, and they need different nutrients and different vibrations to be able to support that. So that can also impact cravings, but there's also the physical aspect as well, of the brain and addictions to foods and all of that.
Hi, Bree,
stuff.
welcome back. I just want to say hi.
Hello. Hi, nice to be with you guys.
All this stuff, so thanks for being able to.
Yeah, I was able to listen to some of the broadcasts as I was traveling back. Yeah, and so it's good to see you all here today. And I see.
Well, so how are you, Beverly, doing as far as I'm glad to hear that some of the stuff that we did last week helped you, and that helps you navigate through this. That is a crazy dream, and I wanted to kind of circle back to that a little bit too, and all this idea of the animals and everything. I think too, overall, the overall message here is that we're all experiencing these human collective reality consciousnesses. And again, as Beck said earlier, it's really about knowing that the polarity is always going to exist. Things don't need to be fixed. All we have to do is find our own harmony in moment by moment, whatever that is. And even though that sounds too simplistic, it really does create the version of the earth we're going to land on in that moment. And so if we can, again, get ourselves to remember the higher perspective picture, in that this is not just the one reality, and that we can navigate through these different versions based upon what we're excited about, what we prefer. Whether or not we eat meat or vegetarians or vegans, or really is just, I think a part of that too, my guides have said to me, part of that is that we're also being guided to lose labels. Once again, I am this, therefore I believe this, and I cannot deviate from that because of that. I think that the whole message is not about the details. I think it's about that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's struggled about the bigger picture.
I've struggled through breaking out of my self-assigned labels my whole life, over and over. Oh, I'm this. This is my new identity. This is who I am and what I will always be. And then it's like, well, maybe a bit of that. You start to shift and you start to change. So yeah, we can be graceful in
about that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you only eat vegan food, or you only eat these food, you only shop at this place, you only go here, that is what happens then too, is that belief system dictates everything you do, everywhere you go, the people that you meet. It creates your reality, period. It just does, because you're only going to, and isn't this socially, and all of us who've been there where you eat differently than other people, you have to justify what you're eating. You have to, it's ridiculous. Why? It's also about acceptance. It's about allowing everybody to have a buffet, but that doesn't mean I like everything on it, but that doesn't mean you hate the person sitting next to you because they're eating something you don't like. This is a big, big, big metaphor. So it's about all of that. It's about not labeling that. Once I label myself as this way, that means my belief systems are not going to let me go to the corner bakery because I'm not eating bread, or because I'm not, well, you might miss the love of your life. You know what I mean? So we
Somebody
don't.
better go to the bakery.
We have a lot of, we have a lot of baked goods here.
I don't put a label on myself. I find that other people now are trying to put a label on me.
And this is the thing too, is that then we go to social gatherings or holidays, and you're like, if you don't eat what everyone else eats, that they give you a bad time, you feel uncomfortable. So then it makes us not want to hang out with people that and be unconditionally loving, because we're being judged because of what we like and don't like to eat. Well, how stupid is that?
Yeah.
So this whole, and I realize this has taken a whole nother turn, but you see how this specific subject about meat and food and animals really is about a much bigger thing. It's a much bigger thing. And so anyway, we could, I don't want to go off on that tangent, but I respect what you're going through, and because I've been there and I know, and even the dreams, and even the wondering, why am I remembering these events? But we've got to remember, you guys, the more of this stuff we're involved in, we hang around with each other and are activated by these light languages, all of this, we are literally, we're seeing so much more than we could see before. And we're able to identify these things from a completely different perspective. And we start that whole losing the forest for the trees kind of thing. Now we can see, well, this really is something that is about something bigger. You know, it's not just about me. And so anyway, I just feel that many of us have been going through this for a really long time. And we've been actually having these kinds of conversations about this specific thing for a few years now. So I think it's still a very important subject, because I think people beat themselves up a lot because they think, if I do this, I'm not spiritual. If I like this, I'm not spiritual. If I do this, I'm not going to be accepted in the spiritual community. How many people in the spiritual community shun people who eat meat? A lot.
Really?
Why?
No,
Why?
I don't. No, I always say it's personal choice.
Exactly.
Personal choice. But I feel that a lot of people, I've always felt this way, that things that are common sense to me, it's one of those phrases, there's no such thing as common sense, because the commonness sometimes is missed.
That's a good point.
You know, I work in a school with boys, you know, so, you know, there is no common sense where the boys are concerned, you know. But, you know, things that I see in the world that are wrong, and I see, and I have a conversation with somebody and they're like, look at, you've gone out. They're like, are you real? You know? And I think, well, don't you see it? Don't you see that this is wrong? You know, that we're going down a path that's been devised for us by people who just want to make money. You know, they're not looking out for our welfare or our children's welfare.
Nope.
And what Beck was saying earlier on about taking their child to school and seeing how the circumstances. I mean, I work in school, and every day I say what the boys are put through in our school in terms of education. I work at what's called a grammar school. Beck will know what that is. It's where the cream of society is taken So these boys have to sit a test, and they're supposed to be the best of the best. But what happens is that children develop at different times in their lives. And these poor kids have been pushed and pushed and pushed, and rules and regulations, and it's just horrible. I mean, I hated school. I was not a big fan of school.
We just got done saying the same exact words this morning. I swear to God, both of us hated school.
Yeah.
Both of us said it. I can't, that's funny that you said that.
And I don't know about you, but you know when you used to get your school report? Oh, I used to hate my school report.
Yeah.
My school report on every single subject except for PE and nature, you know, this, I'm talking infant junior school, was she doesn't pay attention. She's always daydreaming. That was, you know, that was me at school, daydreamer, staring out the window. And they used to make me sit in the corridor on my own. I was only 6 or 5 years old. And if I didn't understand what was going on, in those days, they would just boot you out the class and you'd be sat in the corridor on your own for a whole lesson. You know, which that doesn't go on so much now, but it destroyed me as a child. The education system destroyed me as a child.
Well, I think it did for a lot of people. And I think that's one of the reasons why we are doing what we're doing now, all of us here, is because we understand, we've talked about this before too, how we've got to start with our children. It has to start with our children. And so that reconstruction of our entire education system, it is all going to come, I don't want to say crumbling down, but there's going to be new systems that are going to be putting in place. Like if you guys remember Zinnia, she's been in a couple of hangouts and stuff. And that's one of the things that she's doing is doing these actual yoga classes and mindful meditation classes for children, to teach them this and to encourage their wonder and you know, all of those things, and to teach them breathing and mindfulness and
yeah.
they already speak light languages.
Yeah. Well, they probably already can.
And I was under the impression, well, at least, you know, how much of this stuff can you really believe? But because I've got a few friends in the UK, and I asked my girlfriend the other day, because there was this article that's been, resurfacing around the internet and Facebook about the UK implementing meditation into their actual curriculum. So I asked my girlfriend, because she's got two young sons, you know, in the curriculum. She lives, I think, right outside London, and she said she hasn't seen anything.
No,
she's not aware of any schools that are doing it. So, you know, but so what does that tell us though? That would tell me though that somebody's planting the seed, even if it's not real, that is somebody's saying it's already being done. So by somebody saying it's already being done, that would lead me to believe that that's us telling ourselves it just needs to happen. Remember, I mean, for most of us in school, at least in the States here, when we were young, you know, young, I'm talking 5, 6, 7, you know, first kindergarten, first grade, second grade, you know, you had rest time and rest period, or you had nap time or whatever. And now they're saying instead of detention, they're using meditation and now they're going more toward away from punishment and into this idea of mindfulness. And so instead of having a detention class where you're being, basically you sit in a class and do nothing and can't speak to anybody or do anything except for your homework. And even that, I'm not even sure if you're even allowed to do your homework, but the point is now they're actually, you know, using meditation as the, you know,
I think what they tend to call it is coping mechanisms.
Yes, exactly. Well, these kids need coping mechanisms too, that they didn't, because of the internet, the pressure, the social media, you know, all of that. It's just it's still, I thought it was going away, but actually I think it's worse. This whole idea of comparison and young people and
not being good enough and not having, you know what I mean? All of that is I think, even
Well,
though
that's never changed, has it? Well, that was the same for us.
right. It's almost
mean,
worse now because we're all, you know.
Well, it's worse because it's in their face. They've got access to it 24/7.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, even little kids, 5, 6 years old, all have phones now.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, is there anything you wanted to wrap up on that, or any ideas?
No,
I really appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you sharing everything, because it really does prompts good conversation.
I hope so.
Well, I just wanted to say, if you're having a dream and during the dream you're experiencing a lot of information from everyone else's perspective, including what you might think of as your own, it's probably more a connection to some collective memory, and might not even be a specific event that happened, but just a general idea of what was going on. So a normal memory dream, you know, connecting to a past life or whatever you want to call it, or you're not going to necessarily be experiencing what the soldier is experiencing, in addition to what the other person in the dream is experiencing, in addition to what you're experiencing. So the idea that you're seeing all different perspectives occur as part of your dream sort of indicates to me you're just picking up on more of a collective experience that might be pertinent to the day.
Right. It's funny you should say that, because I have had that kind of dream before, not totally different, but yes, where I've been like body jumping into different consciousness of the person it's happening to. So I've got different stories going on, and I am a part of them at each stage.
And it could be also, your dream could be going in between different realities. So there's all kinds of possibilities of that.
It's rather interesting.
It is. It really is fascinating.
It's fun. But, you know, sometimes like that one, it was like, whoa, you know, I woke up thinking, whoa, that was really deep.
And I really felt that a lot of us, because we're also becoming better antenna, better receivers and transmitters, I really believe that many of us are delving into the experience of the human collective. If I can explain this, the way our higher realms and say our ET friends and angels, the way they experience our experience, I think, is how we're beginning to experience our experience. Like we've never been able to experience ourselves from all these different perspectives. In other words, that you had, like you were saying, and like Dave said, you were able to actually almost feel everybody's perspective in that circumstance. And we're able to do that more now too in our own 3D stuff, as we're able to start to see how we're able to literally, well, it's so multi-layered, compassion for each other, seeing from another's point of view, understanding that we are multidimensional beings, and we really are tapping into these different, we're able to have an experience, because consciousness is simply experiential. We're able to have an experience now in a way we couldn't have it before, much like our higher dimensional friends have experiences they experience things on a different level. And we are teaching them through our experience in 3D, what 3D is like. And so now we, the other side, are also learning what it's like to be more fourth dimensional. We're experiencing what that is like. And so they're telling me now, It's like how they can experience it in a different level.
What is
Actually, we were talking about this.
What is fourth dimensional?
What's that?
What is fourth dimensional supposed to
It's
look
just,
like?
it's where you're still physical, but yet we can, sorry about my dog.
It's all right.
That's Ranger. We're still physical, but we can experience the physical reality in different ways. We understand we can manipulate things differently. The manifestations, and this is something he and I have been talking about, the manifestations now are happening like that. Just like Bashar said they would, where once you begin to understand, you can play with it now. You can literally play with it just with fun stuff. Just pick something but it's something you have to have no resistance to, and then just let it go. And you begin to see how quickly you really manifest what you want. I mean, we're just saying, well, and it's simple stuff. Even we want this situation to work out this way or better. And I'm telling you, it always worked out or better. And this has been the last few days even. So it's about how we can experience our own consciousness from a different perspective. It's just a different way to experience it. And we can do more stuff, because we're able to be more conscious of it. So anyway, there's a lot of layers to all that. But
yeah,
lots.
Yeah.
Well, I think the idea too of the 4D is once you start being conscious of the metaphysical, meaning things beyond just the physical reality that is visible and science talks about. Once you're aware of those higher things, you're no longer operating in 3-dimensional, because you are creating things by thought. You are being aware of communications that are occurring outside of just speaking and hearing. And from that point on, the amount of metaphysical stuff is just other layers of consciousness. But you're outside of 3D once you start even thinking. Once you're having the conversation you're having now, you're outside of 3D.
Yes, exactly. This experience is almost
even as a child, though, I was always outside of the normal conversation.
I would say all of us in this room, anybody watching this, I have, Dave has, we've all talked about it. I think all of us who are in this way right now, all of us have been that way. That's because that's what we came, part of why we came here is because this is what we wanted to do.
And that's why they say, remember who you are,
not become. We're not becoming anything. We're just remembering who we already are. And we're expanding, but we're becoming more aware of who we already are, and then and actually acting on that, embracing it. I know I am wholeheartedly. And there's still stuff that I don't say or do because of ridiculous reasons, you don't think it's possible or whatever. So I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to talk to, because I know it's we're into 2 hours already. So
Crikey. Thank you.
No, thank you. I'm glad that you're here and sharing, and I'm happy to see that that what we do here is helping you even navigate your own world. That's why we do this.
Great.
So thank you. If without you guys, I'd be sitting here talking by myself.
What do you mean by yourself?
Well, okay, no.
You've got each other to talk to.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Who's next?
I was gonna say, who wants to talk next? I don't know. Let's see, who's up? You want to say?
I never saw Guru Dan.
Well, that's true. Hey, Guru Dan, do you want to say hi? You can say hi. Say hi to everybody. I don't know if you want to be on camera or not.
No, I'm not going to be on camera today. It's your camera day.
Oh, you're funny. Well, you can anytime you can be on camera. Everybody else is on camera if they want to be, but no, you don't.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be old Guru Dan and not be on the camera.
Oh, all right. Sounds good.
How is everybody? Hi.
Good. Yeah, we go way back. Guru
Hi,
Dan,
Bree over there.
Guru Dan, we've been together for a few.
Sean hanging out over there.
Guru
Sarah
Dan,
hanging out in the corner.
Guru Dan used to moderate the Human Colony webinars. He was the predecessor. He was Bree's predecessor. But then Bree started moderating them right after Dan left, and then we've all evolved. We've all evolved.
Hey,
so
yeah, we've all evolved. Yeah, let's call it that. Let's call it that instead of the other stuff.
So yeah, so it's been and Sarah. So Sarah's been around. Sarah knows Guru Dan real well too. So Sean. So yeah, we're all. So just so you guys know, who if you're new to the group, many of us have been hanging out. We've known each other for several years now, longer than I've been speaking.
More than a handful. So
yeah, we all met I met before I was speaking light languages, and we were all in the groups together. So
you had started. You weren't sure what it was. You've come a long ways in half a decade.
It just
everybody has.
Man, it's been, God, do you believe I've been on YouTube for 5 years now? Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. No, I was talking to Sarah and says, "Oh yeah, Wendy's got a thing today." I said, "What do you mean Wendy's got a thing today?" "Oh yeah, Wendy's got a thing today." I said, "Well, where's the thing?" "Oh, it's over here." So you know what? I'm going to drop in on Wendy.
Well, thanks. So it's good. Well, it's good to see you, Dan. It's really good to see you.
Yeah. So when we go off live, when we go to the open chat, we can chat.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, hey everybody. Yeah, life is great.
Well, thanks for saying hi. Hey Ivy, how are you, darling? Just talking about you. We're just talking about you too. We're just all of you guys. We talk about y'all when you're not around. So I just wanted to say hi. See if you want to say hi. You're muted. I don't know if you can or want to unmute. There you go.
Talk now.
Hey, darling.
Hey, how are you?
How is it in the Appalachian Mountains of Tennessee? Is it snowing?
No, it's just kind of gray and icky.
Yeah.
February, maybe we'll get some good weather then. Yeah. I'm waiting for a good snow. But yeah, got the fireplace going. It's all the winter stuff, so.
Yeah, nice and cozy. Well, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, so.
Florida. I know, the Sunshine State.
Yeah, it's warm most of the time. So how you doing there? Any words of wisdom for us?
Staying healthy, staying away from big crowds and scary things like that.
Well, you never know. See, it builds up immunity. See, so don't.
I don't know. This one could be a real one. This is, I don't usually get to about things that are in the news, but this one's making me a little bit more uncomfortable.
Well, all I do is send out love and healing to everybody, and I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to, and that's okay, because ignorance truly is bliss, because when you don't know about these things, you don't have that, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't even have to think about, oh, I might have that or get that or catch that, or so if I don't know about it. And so I think it's funny, a lot of us who don't watch the news and and things like that, and even my sister will say to me, because I haven't turned on the TV in literally 2 months or more, like not even at all. So she's like, not at all, like not even for the weather, the news. And I'm like, nope. And well, don't you need to know what's going on? Nope. Because the only way or reason
it'll got the internet.
Exactly. And
the world's moved on.
I don't even look and see what's going on in all these feeds, and I don't look at any of that crap. I don't need to. It just impurifies my behaviors. You know what I mean? It literally changes my behavior.
Yeah, you especially need to be that way in a population density place. It's harder to get your own vibration going when you're in a town or a city, because you can feel all the other things. But yeah, out here in the mountains, there's a little bit of contact, But yeah, I don't watch TV, but you know,
But I
keep
mean,
an
even
eye
so,
on things
say for
and
example,
go inward.
you go to the grocery store and you have those little wipey things and all that, you know, and I think part of it is that it's always perpetuating this idea that things are always broken or need to be fixed, or that we're constantly have to kill germs, or that we have to. So all of these things, I think, perpetuate the very thing we don't want. It actually reminds us,
It's
oh wait,
programming.
Yes, I don't want to get, I don't want to get sick, so I better wash my hands. I don't want, they're actually imprinting and implanting the things in our brains that we don't want to happen simply by offering the solution. They offer solution to the problem because they invented the problem by inventing a solution. But we don't see that. So
there's a lot of, yeah, you have to go inside further than the programming goes.
It's like, let's make a
there
drug
is a
that
limit.
fixes this
you
thing.
do go through a barrier, or it's not the other word, word for barrier. There's a, God, like the bubble. Anyway, if you go inside, you can go further than the programming. There's like the programming only goes up to a certain point. And if you can, whatever the word is, through that membrane, then you're in the realm of timeless, spacelessness, pure light, etc. Or the void. It's all the same.
Well, and I think it just really substantiates what we were talking about earlier about conscious creators. We're conscious creators. And as soon as we allow something else into our bubble, then it becomes a potential awareness. And once it becomes awareness, we make it real. So then we're going to begin to see, as soon as we make it real, we're going to start to see reflections of substantiation. Of course we are, because you're always going to substantiate anything you believe. That is the mechanism. That's how it works. You're always going to see evidence of the thing that you believe, because if that's your vibration, you're going to see evidence of it. That's just the way it works. You will always continue to see evidence to substantiate your beliefs because you're believing it. It's just that simple. But we can't seem to escape out of that. You know, we can't seem to rubber band ourselves out of that idea. But anyway.
Yeah, well, since we can heal ourselves and we're learning this now, it really changes the idea of getting sick, because it does. You know, we think that sickness is something we have to fight.
Or we just say, I don't want to be in the vibration of that, and that's it, and we just don't. And then, but as long as we don't introduce any resistance into it. But I know we're getting late. We're running late here too, because of course we always like to enjoy all these conversations. So yeah, I wanted to see. I know we've got Sarah and Sean and Temple, Alicia from Temple Beautiful too. So if you guys want to say hi and share, and thank you, Ivy. I hope I'm sending you warmth and comfort and peace. I love seeing the windows outside, and it's getting dark, and it's kind of got that wintry look to it. So, you know, even though I don't like the cold, I still enjoy that the ambiance of all of that. So thank you for that, sharing that. Because down on the other side of the world, it's actually summertime, and so it's winter up here in the northern hemisphere. So
it's freezing outside. I don't like it.
And then there's Bree, who's up there in the icy tundra, way up in northern Wisconsin, or way up in northern United States in Wisconsin. So she's got nice freezing cold temperatures.
Indeed. Yeah.
Same thing with Alicia from Temple Beautiful. She's way up in Wisconsin.
That's true. Why don't we hop around and
let's hop around,
do some closing words and sharing any light language if anyone would like to share. And then we will be able to plan for next week.
And good night, Maria. If you're not already in bed, love you. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, you guys. Hey, Hope. Go for it, guys. Who else wants to?
Who would like to go next? So we can say some final words. If anyone would like to say anything, please raise your hand. Or
hey,
Alicia.
Go ahead.
Hi. So today's conversations with past timelines, parallel lives and stuff. I really enjoy viewing my parallel lives and past timelines. And I think for me, understanding that has helped me better, not only understand myself, but understand how soul families work and the soul in general works. And it's just really given me a greater appreciation for what everybody is doing here and how it all functions to come together as one. So I thought I'd throw that out there.
I like that. Thank you. That was really beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
And then I'll do a blessing if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Vishataya sani utio bulo o shishiasianana. Yela atia o kupajana sitiata. Kikiana nanialo osho. Kakali au upu ushiniti siata. Naya satania nala. Yo ono shubuja aja aki ititiasat. Niata unt bujia kiatia ihana. Ka ala hatia so. Nayata le ishunu utupuga. Kali etiana saniata hana iala a. Putu kutiana saniata shaniasata alahana maniata. Namaste.
Namaste. Yatoya shanate. Zavashanatea ikiashana. Aliana itavikishina niana itagi inamiato agabashanate. Ti antiate intayenda be intiato onkoyamante eloku anto. Leishanasato okaimanate sevashanote elaki. I've been thinking about you a lot lately, Alicia, because of what you just said too about exploring your other realities and what we understand as past lives. And there's been a lot of interesting acquisitions here with things like relics and things like that have been extremely activating. And I've been finding that by exploring, again, by doing that and exploring my other selves, my other lives, parallel lives, whatever, past lives, it really has, tremendously opened doors to my own awareness and my own things that I wasn't even aware that I was even blocking, or that I was, so very interesting how this does help us all. So thank you. And I feel like the light language blessing that you gave kind of helps substantiate that for us too, this idea of exploring all of this, and it is exciting and it's fun. And even if we don't know what it means, it just helps us find more and understand more of all that we are. So thank you.
You're welcome.
It's good to have you here. Hey, Sarah, did you want to say hi? Did you want to give a blessing before we go?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I love you.
Hey, love you.
Yeah, I find it very interesting dealing with past lives, and then you have the parallel lives that you're living as in this time reality as well, and then you have your alien lives that you're living as well. It's so funny, like transferring from one type of being to another in your own physicality, even though it's like so strange being in another type of body, whether it's a fairy or a troll or
troll
or like a Lyrian and a Syrian, Arcturian. It's like it's fun.
It's exactly. It's just fun.
Become aware that you can morph into these other bodies where your consciousness does reside, because it is still you. There was one that was very interesting to me. One aspect that was, it was male and female in one body, and it was me. It was a very androgynous being, but it took on the characters of both energies, male and female. It's not unlike what we consider the transgender idea, or like, I don't know, but it wasn't It was just male and female in one being entirely, not half and half, but it was a conglomerate of both energies being melded together. I don't know how to explain that a little any better than that. An amalgamation of both of them. So
Interesting.
that was pretty awesome and amazing.
And also, and that kind of sounds, Sarah, like almost like you were experiencing almost like a representation of what we're trying to accomplish here, this like perfect balance of divine masculine and feminine kind of idea. There's just kind of a feeling that I was getting.
Exactly. On the outside, I looked very male, but I was very male and female on the inside.
Interesting.
That was another idea. So I wanted to throw that out there.
Well, somebody needed to hear it.
Maybe. I wasn't even thinking about talking about that. That was
well, that's why you know somebody needed to hear it, because you weren't planning to talk about it.
Yeah. So let me get ready for this blessing. And this is a blessing for, let's just say, all species in all realms, in all variations.
Yeah. All righty then.
We love variations of ourselves and aspects of ourselves in many different timelines. Love it. All right.
All right.
Taire tiki ushayak. Electric olay. Inukurich carrot, inukurut kisho. Miruk to orach, anayurutuku, shana yewaha. Kone siria tikiru to onya. Oye itu ushire itu hu taile yota. Hey tu le tuk anya. Urich eret. Orat e shumire tigiwaha. Korata isaili yo hey di wania here. Kilo to oliai. Haya to koya shayu to sha. Garati isola ya here. Horati. Horani ratira. I don't orata. Halatek orati. Haya mani urata alia. Kiasukush. Haleta anaya. Hey tugliak. O iak. Hanshua hai. Oleak here. And that was that being.
And that was that. I was getting some weird pictures of that being. That was funny.
Yeah. That one actually was what I just explained. He caught on that we were talking about it. Or him.
Of course. Oh, that's funny. I don't think I've ever actually heard that kind of a, being, out of you. So it did seem new. It sounds new.
Yeah, it was new.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
And one more wants to speak. Let's see here. Well, there's another variation. Thank you.
It's almost like I can actually picture the beings, but they keep fluctuating, so it's hard for me to pinpoint it. So, but again, it's only going to be my interpretation anyway.
Yeah, but you were correct. They were fluctuating in the different frequencies of the male and female aspect of one. You are correct.
That's interesting. I could just kind of feel it.
Yeah, love it. So, namaste to everybody.
Thank you. Namaste, Sarah. Yeah, we'll hook up here one of these days, girl.
Well, I'll be busy this whole weekend with all that Super Bowl madness. So.
Oh, I even forgot about the Super Bowl. See, I'm oblivious. I'm like, I don't. I forgot about
bartending. Tips. Tips.
All right, there you go, girl.
All right, next.
Enjoy, have fun.
Will do.
Hey, Shiny, did you want to talk? Can you say hi? Would you like to say hello or give a comment or blessing? Hey.
Hey, I want to say hi everyone. I love you all.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah, I'll say a blessing. Yato ya niatana ete akawai shiasano wamo atana esawa wayiti no koto dokoto sai tanana awa etea shamanata dodai wamoa yakana eshe wama toga esoto doda etea kanoke ete tiketo wama watana hishia wamoa yata yasoa waka eteanaya yak eshi wa takako moa tanaso sokodo moa ya tokoto dan moaka alakane ea ke ashisi soto sonono moa ya tanakala esha wa shuno ya kodone wa moya ka te akulia tokoto shimuya tana sulu moya tanana ka eteawa wana eshe waka eteanoa yakanati eshi ya moa ka etea moa tanana kiashia tonona nyaso sono moyata. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. I always love your messages. They always feel like they're just sending so much love and understanding and compassion. Like you're just talking to people's souls and just telling them, you know, it's going to be okay. And you're loved and you're supported. And it's just, I always get such nice vibrations out of your messages. Thank you so much. And I was just thinking about your mom too. So I just wanted to send your mom some love and to see how she's doing. And I don't know, something just made me think of her. So I just wanted to send love and let you know I was kind of thinking about her just now. So I hope do you still get to see her every week?
Oh yeah, I get to see her every week. Thank you for saying that too. Yeah, it's interesting that you said it when you actually said it. So,
well, for some reason I was supposed to. So it is. I hope everything's okay with her. And if there's anything that you need to share, if she needs any special love or blessings or something, let me know. I just was feeling, I don't know, all of a sudden I was feeling very strong energy from your mom. So just wanted to pass that along. So I'm here if you need me.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sean. Miato, much love. Miavosho no te vilea no occupation no te liki. Sevasono itafash no se diamala kopashiana. Ama anavi anamala uma kiata itafash no sahiana. Se inama atofaki intafashene se te pithiana vakatoro. Shinasima etelesa fasonotova kashanateri. Nimativi kyoshama so ontafashene se. Seko intiashana vasotavashana to guamalitai. Inadi inanamalo ko onabe inshansete. Siva sonotave kianasha. Niato. Love you, Sean. Niapashanate. And hey, I wanted to let you know, I was thinking about you and Sarah yesterday too, because Harris posted a video really quick yesterday on his channel. And it was just about, he was in this little fairy place that he was just did a really quick video. It was really short about some place that he was at and these little fairy doors. And it was just really cute. So I was talking about you guys yesterday. So I just wanted to let you know. Thank you all so much for being with us today, all of you again. And thank you, Dave, for your help. And thank you, Bree, for hopping in when you could. I hope that I trust that your appointment went well and that things are going yay. I could kind of feel your energy was feeling pretty nice. So
yeah, just connecting with, frequency healers around the world using incredible world-changing machines and wanting to get their science and research out there while also using it to help myself. And sometimes we manifest issues in our body because we are supposed to go find the cure for ourselves and be able to share it with people. That's
funny.
It's a side effect. It's a result. I can't say it is the only reason. There's never any black or white only reason.
Well, I was going to say, if it's something that you'd like to share, like if there's links or anything that you'd like to share for this person or their work.
It's well, the machine that he uses is called the Metatron.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and it's incredible. It measures the electrical outputs of the different organs and everything, and then it's actually able to also send specific frequencies where needed if it's used for therapy. And that I don't want to say anything more than that because I'm just getting to understand the very, very, very basics, but it's fascinating because it can highlight, you know, specific areas that need specific things, and just crazy synchronicities too with the two brothers. They're identical twins.
Oh my God.
Run this company, and their names. So Jason is the name of the main guy there, the main doctor, and his brother's name, I found out today because I haven't been there in many years, is named Marcus. Now my boyfriend's first name is Jason and middle name is Marcus.
Oh my God, Bree.
And they use the Metatron, and I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. There's a few synchronicities.
So that alone was
we were going to talk about synchronicities today, and we really haven't even gotten into it, but that's very funny because these are the things we're talking about, you guys. When we're talking about synchronicities, these are perfect examples of names, and it's like our higher self showing us, thumbs up, you're right where you need to be, right who you need to be with.
Yeah. And when you have those feelings of like, just like you're so comfortable with somebody you've just met and you have no idea why, and you feel like energetically you just feel this sense that you've spoken with them before. That's stuff that we can trust, and it's taken me a few years to be able to trust in my own senses about these things. And it's really cool. It's really cool. So there's a lot of really exciting things happening, and actually I'll just take this moment to mention that a synchronistic part of the conversation I had with Jason today at that health clinic was about Heart Math Institute, and they're very famous and well known for all sorts of things related to the heart and heart fields. And Dr. Roland McCready is going to be interviewed on Awake TV Network on Monday for a show that I'll be helping secretly run in the background. Oops. And he's going to be interviewed on Dr. Alan Schoen's show. So it's a weekly show. Wendy just is having your show is Friday, so we'll mention that next. But so next Monday is this interview with this scientist, the director of science at Heart Math Institute, and he's going to be sharing research and findings from these devices they've created that shows the electromagnetic field of the heart, and it's able to show the entire field. It's able to measure it. There's biofeedback and everything, so it can actually be like graphically shown as well. And they're talking about the scientific proof of the animal and human heart-to-heart connection. The reason why we have a bond with animals so powerfully, and specifically larger animals, they have a larger electromagnetic field of their heart because they are larger animals. So that's why we feel so much power, so much much energy being around like horses or big cats or something, is because they are larger and their hearts are larger, and we connect with that more strongly, and they're able to show what happens to our bodies and the animals' bodies when we come into proximity with each other and our hearts connect. And of course, this is in like a physical space. We're not even talking about the energetic aspect of like connecting with an animal's heart. You know, I can go to the grocery store and I can telepathically connect with my cat, with my pet. And you know, tune into that. And that's on like the quantum level, right? That's in the quantum field. So, but this is really exciting. That interview is happening at 5 p.m. Pacific time on Monday, this upcoming Monday on February 3rd. And it just so happens that the guy I was talking to today has met Dr. Roland McCready of the Heart Math Institute, has just did talks about these machines, these devices that can measure the field. And he was just like, wow, I can't, that's so amazing that this is happening. So it was really beautiful. And it just goes to show, you know, that people in these fields of trying to show more about emerging science and spirituality, we're all getting connected with each other one way or another, or we know people who know other people. We're all kind of rendezvousing in these same circles, and it's because we're all able to work together if we choose to, in whatever way we feel called to. Even if it's just reaching out and saying a nice comment or something, or following somebody's information. So
very interesting that you brought that up about the heart, because a lot of synchronicities the last couple of days have come into my awareness about the heart. And something, it reminded me of a book that Bashar had recommended many, many years ago, and it's called The Heart's Code. And I bought it, never read it. It was one of those things, I just had to buy it. But it was all about how we speak to our heart and how, but it also comes from I think the author is, I want to say Bob Pearsall. I believe is his name, the author. And it talks about that, about a lot of that, how we're talking about talking to your heart, but it's a electromagnetic being, actually, your heart. It actually has its own mind. It actually has its own, so all of these things that as you're talking about the heart, talking about this work, it's like this hum in my mind saying, this is part of the beginning of us beginning to even understand the heart and understand the connection with the heart and the hearts of animals. And funny how Beverly earlier was talking about animals and how Ranger's been walking around, my dog, and how we really do have this ability to connect with animals in a way that we never have before. And even my friend Jacqueline Smith that has been on, you know, my channel, and she was on a Wake TV show the other day. And so she's an animal communicator. But anyway, the whole idea is that we have this ability to connect. These are electrical impulses. It's all connected, but it's like this, it's science meeting spirituality.
Yeah, it's the non-physical and the physical. Yes. And we can address all of it now, because we're starting to actually be taught about these things that have actually been known for thousands of years by the people who are privy to know them.
You've been hearing, listen to your heart, follow your heart. But and even Bashar has said, we mean it literally, people, literally.
Mm-hmm.
It has a voice, it has a mind, it has
it's connected to our higher self, to our soul.
Representation.
Yeah.
So ask your heart, what do you look like? And it will show you a representation of what your heart energy being looks like. It's strange, but it's true. So very interesting. I think the whole heart thing is a really good subject for even a whole nother just conversation.
I agree.
The heart itself,
it's big.
It is what we are. Our hearts can be stopped and started by electricity.
Yeah.
Think about it, you guys. We're electrical beings. We're
he was talking about, there's these machines. Gosh, I wish I could remember the term. It's like the term for a variation of a variation of different types of heartbeats and heart rhythms that we all have basically like this set, you know, and depending on what's going on with us in the moment, in the day, with our health, our heart beats differently. And they're able to now scientifically measure and prove this. And they have machines that can essentially, you just put it on your finger and it's able to tell you what's going on with you health wise based off of this like variable, this range of what your heart, how your heart is behaving. And I mean, it can get down to extreme specifics of health related things. And so that's something else he was talking about in our session today. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. And the synchronicities of this are so amazing, that he actually met this guy. So I just wanted to mention that because it was a cool part of my day, definitely. And, you know, connecting again with people all over the world that are sharing this information. And that's what Awake TV Network specifically wants to be able to share, is consciousness expanding information. How can we all better understand that we can heal ourselves, and there are tools and there are things that we can do that don't have to necessarily be the ways that we've been taught in the Western society specifically, or especially, not to say that that isn't helpful, because we've made many advancements, but we can also see things that have gone a little bit backwards. So on that note, then, Wendy, your last show on Awake TV Network is this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep,
right?
It's the last show for this 12-week series. And then I'm going to take a little break, I think, for a little bit and see if to regroup. I got a lot going on, you know, and stuff. So
yeah, so it's the last last show for season 1.
Season 1, yeah.
And it's very exciting. And just a reminder for everybody, you guys can watch that, and it stays up free for free public viewing for about 12 to 18 hours as well. And you can watch it live, and that's just by going to awaketvnetwork.live. So please check it out. And you know, if there's, and you can like leave comments or anything, and I might be able to be on that show with you, Wendy. We should talk about that.
No, I haven't actually. I would love it if you could be on. I hadn't planned any guests for the last show because I figured I would just kind of do like everything.
Smorgasbord, the Wendy smorgasbord.
Yeah, I kind of do that, and can you know, because that's kind of how my sessions run too. My sessions are more of an experience than anything, but because it can include channeled information, you know, light languages, oracle card readings, just sitting and mentorship, all of that. So
it depends on what you're called.
I love to be able to do a lot of different things, and I'm looking forward to doing even more different things that are completely different than what I'm even doing now. So
yeah, exactly.
Just fun stuff, you know, just really, really fun. And so stay tuned for all of that. And thanks again, Bree, for being here today, and for all of you, and you guys really make this space. And it's so wonderful to see new faces and old faces, and meeting, you know, people that we've known for a long time or just for the moment. And yet we also know that the moment we meet, we're just reuniting. We're not really meeting for the first time. And so I think we all know that, we all feel that. And I appreciate all your love and support and kindness and generosity, and all of you being here and waiting and sharing. It's just so overwhelmingly wonderful. And just all of you bring so much to my life. And I wanted to thank you all for being a reflection of me. And I love interacting with all of you. And thanks, Bree, for being here again this week, and all your love and support, and for all of the support for all of those out there who want to share their passion with the world, and your ability to help so many people be able to share their joy, their passion, their labors of love. And so many of us who want to do this work, this whatever this is, but sometimes the technological and, you know, technology and all that, sometimes really it prevents us from doing this kind of stuff. And I will say, you guys, the very first video I ever made, I swear to God, I had never even picked up my cell phone, made a video. I mean, I took pictures, but I had never made a video, didn't have a YouTube channel, didn't have a Gmail, didn't have nothing. And I just did it all in one day. And here we are 5 years later. So without any expectation, because my guide said to me, I said, I don't know anything about this stuff. And they were like, don't worry, we'll help you through it. And it was just the funniest thing because I really didn't know what I was doing. And before I knew it, at the end of the day, it was done. So it is possible. So there's somebody out there who needs to hear this, that yes, we've been doing this a while. We make it look easy, but it takes practice. It takes balls. It takes
courage. Yeah. And
yes,
like willingness to go through the difficult part. And I mean, just to go back to what you just said, Wendy, it is pretty incredible that you knew really nothing about YouTube. Nothing. You didn't have a channel. You barely used
I never used Google Hangouts. I didn't anything about nothing. I
barely used your computer.
I started doing this stuff. I didn't know anything about anything, you guys, as far as social media.
Right. And when you have a burning passion and desire to do something in your heart to the point where not doing it starts to eat you alive,
exactly,
that's when you know that that's what you can be doing, and you will always be supported in doing that no matter what, even if you think it's the most impossible, crazy, never me, no. It can happen. And if you can't,
trust that even if you don't know what you're doing, trust that you will receive the support you need to do, when you need to do it, how you need to do it.
Yeah.
And that support came by my guides. That support came by way of Bree. That support came by way of all of the people, all of the steps of the way, all of you. Every bit of it came with believing, even if I don't know how to do something, somehow, some way, the person or the people or the resources I need will be provided. And I swear to God, you guys, I swear to you, in 5 years, it has never failed. Not once has it ever failed that I didn't have what I needed. I'm talking even at the nth hour when we're getting ready to go live and everything goes wrong and there's no internet, there's no nothing. And yet we prevail. I put all the fear aside and say, okay, guys, help me out here because I'm going to panic. So I'm like, so it's just all of a sudden I just take a deep breath and just know it's all going to be taken care of. And there have been stuff has happened. And yet sometimes we couldn't go live. And you know what? Even that, we have to be okay with the fact that maybe today wasn't the day to go live. So we have to be okay with that too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And for people who are feeling way too far from like this version of them that they know they are moving towards, and they see it and they feel it in their heart, and they're like, I know someday I'm going to be doing that, or I know someday I could do that. Oh my gosh, but it feels so far away and impossible. Keep asking yourself, what if I could? What if I could? Instead of, well, but there's this, and well, but the money, and well, but the family, and well, but the friend, and this, and the location. You're able to shift your perspective of it from it's too difficult, it's impossible, to what if it is possible. And that alone opens us up to possibilities we can't even see or feel in the moment. So yeah, I think this is just, it's a good time, a good reminder for the fact that we can all do the things that we incarnated here for. And that is also up to free will. But you will continue to see, the more that you follow your heart, this beautiful what we have, our technology of our body, and I mean like the design of the human body is really incredible, and we can start to work with it instead of against it. And yeah, you will be supported in what you do, and it happens magically. It does.
It actually feels like magic, you guys. When it happens, you think, oh my God, how did that happen? It's magic, because we are magic. We are. That's what we're made of. We are.
Every moment. It's a miracle. It really is a miracle. So on that note, I think we can probably start to wrap up. So I think we hopped around to everybody, right? So
everybody's had a chance to say hi and talk and give a blessing. And just a reminder to everybody that these Hangouts do, we
Typically, if I have the opportunity, we stay and chat afterward off live. So if there's things you want to share in a more private setting where you're not out, you know, live in the world, that's fine. That's part of what this is for. So
Yeah,
it's about, you know, making a space for each other to feel comfortable and loved and supported. So
yeah, definitely.
you're loved.
Beverly is.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Beverly, did you have something you'd like to share?
Was there something you wanted to say?
No? Yes? No?
Are you just showing yourself and saying hello? She's just here with us.
Like, okay. So Bree, since you didn't get a chance to share today or share some light languages, if you once again you'd like to leave us with a blessing and
sure,
take us off the air. Nilako savashanote le jajamashote le zana tela kozava elashanote kia sonafa late sonote. So from here in Florida in the United States, and for me and Dave, thank you all for being with us once again. And I love all of you unconditionally, without beyond measure. And what you give me is so beautiful in return. And I thank all of you. So thank you, Bree, and go for it. And we'll see you next week. And thanks again. And if you can join us on Friday for my Last Awake TV show, that would be awesome. So
yeah,
love you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. And thank you all for being here, for contributing in any way that you have, whether it's viewing or commenting in the live chat, coming into the room, seeing a thumbnail in passing and wondering what the heck are those people doing? Thank you. So with that said, I will provide a little light language blessing, and this is for our traversing through all of the incredible experiences and opportunities we all get to have while we're here, big or small, as gracefully as possible. Tau tere hinau tenia kate shauro ot eshente iatau. Kiot ara henta yaso araneyata ukaya. Nayato nayatere nea hanatea haranyata harate. Kia utantia haratio undeshenya utona nyandaya sotonne ya hoto ayoko. Ne ya ante saya anne an ya uat e. Yat au ere etia antias ere ia anya aya ara anya ara atiao. Okia hayashi hayashi. Oshanaya hiato haya. Otete shaseniata kototo eshehiata teo. Utata yana tatato shokoto anti si auta. Meshia na nea sa aniata auto eshe ea sa anayata okoa. Haure henia hate aratia so ayushishia yate yototo ia yatata oshaki yatata na yato toto yani unu iti tio tote yata au toto ite yotai anate ayananayate yotototai anioto aniata otetia shayata toahai yara anyara tiara uno oyo uno no yata ukeshe hoteheshe yata. Thank you all for being here. We will see you next Wednesday at 3:33 p.m. Eastern Time on Wendy's channel. You can go to her website, languagesoflights.com, follow her blog, check out her services page, and definitely interact, comment, and let us know what this does for you, because we do it from our hearts and we want to reach your hearts. So thank you. We love you.
Love you.